Okay, so at this point, it's basically confirmed. We are now 3 issues in. This is my 3rd video, and it's safe to say that the Sasuke Sisters run of Black Widow is my favorite current comic book series out right now. I alluded to this in previous videos, but it is for sure stamped by now. I love everything about it, and I hope to God that Marvel picks them to continue on with this character, considering how well of a job they've done. Considering their background, it seems like Nat and the Sasuke Sisters are a hand-in-glove fit. I'll explain this, I guess, further and really expand on this in a minute. But until then, let's get into this issue. This is issue number 3 of the current run of Black Widow. All right, so picking up where we left off, Black Widow is in Madripoor hunting down pedos, human traffickers that are participating in this foul game called No Restraints Play, where people are basically allowed to bid on what happens to kidnap little kids. She was on the roof with a sniper, but was approached by Madame Masque, who is right here, right before she got to really let the shot off on this individual who was responsible for what happened to a previous girl that was part of this game, and she had her hands chopped off. Let's get into it. So we begin right over here, as you can see, with some alerts going off, and different individuals are basically being notified that a new No Restraints Play show is going up. As you can see here, Tech Ed is letting Tiger know what's going down. Remember though, Tiger has been a sort of a villain in the past. Here she's an ally to Nat, as she's the one who let her know what the hell was going down and asked her for help to stop this sick game. Anyway, Tiger tells Tech Ed to log into this game and link it to the dummy accounts that she has. She then takes off to go to a party where she was invited to this party by the Prince of Madripoor. They are also confirming they do not know of Black Widow's whereabouts. And going back to the end of the last issue, Madame Masque let off a shot that was really point blank. Looking at this page here, you can see that the guards on her wrist, more so right here, really blocked off the shot. So then she starts letting off all sorts of shots, and that is of course dodging them all. She then disappears and ends up trapping Madame Masque. She basically legit trapped her ass with a fishing line. Now Madame Masque makes a slick comment here about Nat's thighs, and she can't really fit up in her in her little suit, and Nat end up smacking the hell out of her. She finally phones in on Tiger and Tech Ed. Now Ed informs her of the upcoming show. She then clearly takes Madame Masque's suit right down here. So it looks like she has a plan to sort of infiltrate. And over here you can see that she rolls up to the party and Taskmaster spots her out. She acknowledges that she has to mimic really Madame Masque. That's a specialty of hers, or she's in trouble, but that's sort of her thing. I think she got this. So Taskmaster allows her in, but must give up her guns. Nat ends up running into Tiger as well. She knew it was her because Tech Ed essentially said so. They are looking for the character with the NRP tattoo that almost got his ass sniped in the last issue. His name is Vlad Dorchik. But Nat takes off as Taskmaster intercepts Tiger by basically hitting on her. So the Prince of Madripoor begins speaking, and he says that all of the criminals should start working together instead of being so every man for himself. To convince all the participants that's at this party of his vision, the future that he has for the island of Madripoor, he transfers a bunch of money to the accounts of the party's attendants, many of which have no idea how he even got access to their accounts. Obviously, Nat also has questions as to where this money came from, some of which their key suspect seems to be carrying right here. Baron Zemo runs into Nat disguised as Madame Masque, and the cool thing here is that she references the Punisher being on his ass. A Punisher reference is always good, but even better is when Marvel Comics actually acknowledges the continuity, as this is what is happening right now in the current Punisher run. Moving on the comms, Tech Ed lets Nat know that the show's about to start in an hour. And of course, Nat is trying to prevent this. On the previous page, she walked away from Baron Zemo and he ends up coming back. He says that he will basically pay her to get the Punisher off his ass. That is until Sabretooth, right here, popped up out of nowhere. She tried to avoid him because she knew that he could sniff her ass out, but he did it anyway, and he calls her Red. You know, he knows that it's Black Widow. He also claims that the good guys like himself have to stick together. But he tells her he sniffed her out a long time ago when she even entered the damn party, and they then approached the prince. And Sabretooth says that the money smells like blood money, and then he gets escorted out by Vlad, who is acting as the prince's bodyguard. So Nat starts to chat with the prince, questioning how he really came to power. The conversation takes a turn, and the prince has Nat escorted by Vlad, much like Sabretooth. So use your context clues, man. She sees this as a positive because this is the man she was trying to get to. She suspects that she may be getting led to this trap, so she stops him and begins kissing up on him. A man can't resist Nat, right? Wrong. She actually got okey-doked as he saw it coming and drugged her. This is a move that she would make herself. It becomes clear that he knew that she was coming. He was warned by his boss. He told him to look out for her. So he transports her to this room with TVs and cameras and whatnot. And it looks like she's going to be the victim of the game she was attempting to stop. And as you can see here, Vlad says it's playtime, to be continued. And that's the cliffhanger, and that's how we end this issue. Okay, so why is this my favorite run right now? It's due to a few different reasons. It's a combination of different things though. So let me go in depth, which I really haven't done in my first two videos. First of all, the comic is geared for adults, right? It's geared towards adults, but that alone doesn't make it good. It's the fact that Jen and Sylvia Soska were able to write a book that not only keeps the essence of this character, right? But it also blends in with what is really clearly their strength in writing type and approach. By maintaining this essence, I'm meaning that this story does not deviate from the core of who Nat is. She's still a badass, and we've seen her go undercover and spy, which is what she's known for doing. That's her superpower, if you will. Now me, I already admire the Soska sisters for what they stand for, but when it comes to comics, right, I'm a big fan of people being able to write stories that cross over into their like specialties, right? Black Widow is absolutely perfect for the Soska sisters. I've said this numerous times, but what I personally see way too much of are writers taking up on characters they have absolutely no business getting a hold of because they've done nothing to prove they'd be able to do them right. And sometimes they've actually proved the opposite. Now, I'm not saying that the Soska sisters should be pigeonholed into strictly writing this type of material. I'm just saying that it's something that we know they are good at. This is a perfect character for them to handle. And I think that Marvel should let them rock with Black Widow for the next damn decade. Now, of course, this book benefits from the times, but that's not a knock on the Soska sisters. This is an age in which writers are being really too on the nose and flat out corny with characters, especially female characters, when it comes to handling like relevant issues, right? This run deals with pedos and human traffickers, but it's a good story. Black Widow is not a Mary Sue type. She has flaws, and even now she's stuck because it looks like she's about to be the victim of the ring that she's attempted to stop. She's not a character that's a ooh, work it, yes girl, I'm a strong female, gotta let you know this. She just shows you this. She shows you who she is, but she also maintains her femininity. This is refreshing. The writers simply know what the hell they are doing, and because of that, this is one comic that I would encourage you to vote for with your wallet so that they are incentivized to make this type of material more often. But that's gonna wrap it up. Big shout out to all of you, but let me give a huge shout out to the Soska sisters. I think when writers do a good job, they need to be commended. So big shout out to you guys. I love it. Love you all. But until next time, man, that's gonna wrap it up. Y'all be easy.